my setup for Pilates, and I do 20 minutes and I follow 2 different routines. I recently started doing this, which is my planner. I feel like I'm a person that does a lot of planning, but the only difference is that I'll go like a long period using my planner, being consistent, checking off items, and then it's like I'll hit like 2 months, maybe even longer, where I don't, and that's a problem. And right now I'm in my planner phase again. I started writing all the things I had to get done, like little tedious things like my playlist, which, by the way, my playlist right now, this is my classical playlist, and it's so good. It's about 4 hours, and I'm also excited because when I was in Amsterdam, the very first time I went to Europe, I desperately wanted to see Ludovico Einaudi, who is my favorite pianist of all time. And I think just like a couple months prior to that, he was on tour in Europe, and there was no news about him coming to the US. And then I went to the tribute because I'm like, at least I could, you know, hear his music being played. It was a beautiful experience. I loved it. And now Ludovico's coming to the US. He's gonna be touring, and I'm going, and I'm super excited. And someone said some melodies feel like the voice of God holding your soul still, and I feel like that's the most accurate way you could describe classical music. And I'm literally just planning for this week what I have to do. A couple mini updates that I wanted to give, just because I feel like I've been recording here and there, and I wanted to talk about books. If you guys know, I love romance books, in general books. Usually I would do like every month a bookish video, which included everything about books in that video. But I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna stop fully doing them and instead just include book related stuff within my lifestyle vlogs. We'll see. But what I did want to give an update is that I have technically 4 books left on my TBR. This has been a thing for the past year, I want to say, and a half. Last year, 6 months in this year, of me just bringing my TBR low. I have videos literally pointing to, I have this amount of books in my TBR and I want to just finish them all off. So I have officially 54 books, but 2 of them for sure I know I don't plan on reading this year, so I'm just taking them off. So we're left with 52 books. With that being said, I did the math calculations because I'm like, okay, like my goal is to literally finish all these books in order that I would be able to like finish off my TBR, and then I would just stick to Kindle, and once a year I would buy only the favorite books I love then, so I could build a library and a collection of literally only my favorite books. Read 8 books in every month, and that would complete all my whole physical TBR this year. So I just had to say that. Another thing, doing a lot of different mini hobbies. I loved puzzle. I recently this year started puzzles, and it was 1,000 piece. Keep in mind, I've never done puzzles other than when I was a kid. I finally completed this one. I have another one that I think I'm gonna complete in the fall, so I'm thinking every year I could buy 2 puzzles, one completed in spring winter time, another one like summer/fall. And this turned out amazing. Now, another hobby that I started recently, or that I wanted to learn, was gardening. There's a video that I posted where you guys saw me doing that, and oh my gosh, my flowers, my marigolds, they are flourishing to the point that I had to like unpot them again, distribute them throughout other pots because they just were getting bigger and expanding. I love them. I think for beginners in gardening, this is like the best thing you can do. And then I planted, these are the ones I planted. I planted these. I planted cos and then zinnias. These all do take 50 to 55 days for zinnias, 75 days for morning glory, and 65 days for cosmos. In my future home, I do plan on just like scattering these and letting it just bloom, but obviously since my yard we don't have any grass, like I just been growing these in pots. And my future goal would be to grow also like tomatoes, potatoes, and do all that, but that's a future project. But I wanted to give a little update on those little hobbies. Another update that I wanted to give specifically about books is that I was no longer gonna share in my reviews all the books I read. I think if anything I would put a list of the books, all the books I read, but I would only share the books that I genuinely loved and that I recommend. These are the books that I read already this month. I read The Trip in Blakely, Helpless Creatures by J.T. Geisengisht, The Inheritance Game Book 1. I'm currently also reading this book by Madison Pruitt Trout. I really like her podcast, and this is The Love Everybody Wants. Those are all the books I'm reading right now. Okay, I really want to switch this bookshelf with this one, and what I mean is that I mainly want to like move all the books here on this side to this one and move those here, just because as you can see, this is usually what this looks like. I love this chair so much. Unfortunately, a lot of the times it does pile up with clothes, but when it's like this and I sit in this area, I literally do feel like I'm in my own personal library. I'm right against all my books, so I literally feel like this is my own little like mini library. But then it's the perspective. So this is what I see from this angle, and I love it even more. You can see the rest of my books. So once again, I just love seeing this perspective. I love seeing my bed because majority of the time I'm sitting here, laying here, reading here, and I always see this. This is literally my perspective. I literally displayed my favorite books back here, and this right here is just like a continuation. And just so you understand what I mean, all those books right here I really do love. All of that is like my favorite forbidden books. That is just rom-com, so I don't really care about that, so I might leave that one. Also, in that little corner right here, this white part, I have my Coach bags that are in dust bags, and I don't have any other place for them because my room is small. Pretty much every inch of this room is already covered. It has perfect organization, but that's the best place for that, so that might just stay there. It's a continuation. This is all Mafia going straight across. That is all Forbidden going across, but that Forbidden part right here, I just keep adding. So like the ones sticking out, those sticking out are the ones I literally have been like, I just finished reading, so I just stick them in there, and you'll see a couple of those like right there. Just finished that, I just stuck it in there. But since my chair sits right here, it kind of blocks it from seeing my favorite books, so I really want to switch some, put these over here, switch those over there. So it's like my, I don't want to say my least favorite, but the books that I don't really care to see are gonna be here. Anyone wonders why I don't just move my chair to this side, it's because my mirror goes literally here. It kind of covers this section of my clothes, and I can move it because my TV is more angled this way, so if I put the mirror, it would block part of the TV, and with the mirror over here, it doesn't block it. The chair doesn't even have an issue with it. final finished product. I didn't switch the top row, I just cleaned up the dust, mainly because I don't really reach for those. All my rom-coms that I have left to read, which is like 4 of them, are in my TBR pile. This fantasy section, romantasy section are all read, except for 2, which I don't plan on reading until maybe next year. And then I just rearranged everything, which I'm so happy because now I'm gonna be able to see my book. As for this pile right here, I am selling. In a couple of past videos I made, like part of the video had the books that I was getting rid of. I'm only keeping one of them because I really loved it, but the rest is gone. Good morning. I am about to get ready for church. That is the dress I'm wearing, so come along. Usually I've been using, and if you've been watching me for the past few videos, I talked about this product, how I really liked it. I at first thought it was breaking me out, but it was another Biomo product, but I really like it. But I have mainly oily skin when it's summertime now, so my skin is getting a lot oilier, which is normal. So I think I'm gonna try not to wear that today and just use these 2 products and see if my skin is a little bit less oily. I also think that it could possibly be this, but I think this is really good for oily skin, so quicken, fill in a little bit of my brows. And just quickly want to say, usually have been loving this one. I use this one pretty much since I discovered it, and it has been great. Even last summer is when I started using it. And keep in mind, I am oily skin, but I have a new friend, and her makeup looks so flawless all the time, and it's because she wears a full face. And I used to wear a full face, but then I switched to a more less makeup look. So I've been wearing this, and I loved how my makeup came out the other day, which was obviously a more full face. But I think for today, since I'm just trying out this combo without this, I'm gonna do my regular one. In my last video, I did mention that I wasn't gonna be posting every Sunday. I think at one point I will come back to that, but instead I just wanted to create more specific and good quality videos. So I'm thinking maybe like twice a month, maybe 3 times. But with that being said, I kind of have been liking this new process just because I've been recording mainly whenever I'm doing something that I personally love to watch, and I kind of like it, like that I get to record at different points and not just one. I need to be filming the whole time. I really think this skin tint is like the best because it gives a beautiful coverage, but it's not a lot. I wanted to talk about the flowers you saw right before I started filming because this is me officially saying I got baptized. Context, did it at the beach yesterday. You already saw that footage. And from the very beginning, I knew that I wanted to do it at the beach because that's how God confirmed to me that this was the next step for me. This all started last June. It was literally like around this exact week. I think I started to think about the idea of getting baptized, but it officially came to me one day where it was just like, it's not about if you're doing it, it's about when you're gonna do it. Till February of this year that I started officially taking the step to get baptized on 21st at the beach, and it was a beautiful time, and I made it very intimate with only my closest friends and people that have been with me almost since I joined my church. We started the day with worship, and then we moved into my testimony, which then we later did a prayer over me, which was by far my favorite thing that I did. And then from that we did the baptism, and then we just hung out and had a mini beach day. The reason I'm sharing this right now is because at first I'm gonna share the entire process, but then I didn't want to make this day just about filming it, because I wanted to film the whole process from the moment I started it. But I was like, and also other things kind of came in between that, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't film the process, because even making a whole video didn't seem the best idea. Instead, I do realize that this channel is about sharing my life with him, which is what I'm gonna do. I think there's gonna be precious moments in my life that I do want to share like this, but I don't want to make a whole production out of it. So this is pretty much my story. I just realized I forgot primer. A funny thing I thought I would share, but I didn't know how I would react after, like, as soon as it came out of the water, which I gotta say that water was freezing, which if you know, Lake Michigan is really cold. But I will say, before I say that, these little elf lip tints, $5. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with them. And then usually I pair it off like with one of these, which once again, so good that I would maybe get emotional, but literally I didn't, because all I focused on is that the water went up my nose, and it wasn't the best thing, because I was just like, oh my gosh. After I came back, I fully showered, you know. I've seen the Jesus glow in me. That was when I felt the most on fire for God, which was last summer, and I had that glow for such a long time. And then I went through a lot of sanctification at the end of last year / beginning of this year. If you know, you know. There's like a vlog of me talking about it. After my shower, I looked at myself in the mirror and I just saw that Jesus glow in me. Like, I just saw Jesus in me. So it was, right now I'm so happy, and I'm so happy I took that step of obedience, because like I finished my testimony by saying this, like, he died for me, so I'm gonna live for him. But I decided to put a little bit of lipstick because I need to start wearing my lipstick again. But I wanted to share this after showing you that video already, and now I'm just gonna put on my dress and I'm taking you with me to church. Like, look how pretty that is. Wearing these heels that I bought in Rome, they're so clean. This cute little white bag, and I'm leaving now.